Not ju- First of all, I love you. Do not judge my intro because like I know, we're building this thing up. It's new and improved, okay? So every week you're gonna get something special. It's gonna be beautiful. And let me do my apologies ahead of time before I even bring in my amazing host. See, I'm excited. I'm too excited to talk. But okay, apologies right now because I'm at work and this is the struggle. So shows are about to be changed, guys. They're gonna be changed till Mondays because we can't have hoodness happening in the background. Although it's beautiful, I don't want to have to talk to other people except you because you're the one that matters at the moment. So I'm gonna change the show days to Mondays, and we're gonna address times and all that other stuff further down the week. We're gonna slowly get this thing pumping in together. But let me shut up because I got the apologies out, and I told you I love you, and now I got to bring in my amazing stars because I love them. So let's bring in my boo with that come through. She about to come here and super fly for you. Watch this, watch. Here she come. Courage. Good
Hey, what do, what it
morning.
do? Y'all see me? I'm at rocking the pro, but
Girl,
hey,
you are beautiful. Good morning. Good
thank you.
morning. I love the Nubianness of the beauty right now, the beauty of courage coming through with that come through. Yes, love that. That smell is everything, honey. Yes. Okay, now let's bring out our king of the bunch. We got a king on our team, y'all. Let's bring wisdom with the come through. He got that knowledge hidden with the woe, like wisdom.
I do have here. you know, that intro,
You,
it was something special. But come on this ride. We taking this ride together. All the bumps and bruises. We got this. Yo, Trina, you looking good.
thank you.
I like it. I feel like that ludicrous video. Afro kicks, Afro chicks. Uh-huh.
Yes. Good morning, wisdom. How are you, honey love?
I'm doing good, man. Obviously, I'm ready to go. I got my little earrings in. I'm feeling beautiful. I'm feeling glowy. I feel so. I'm ready to go.
Am I the only one without earrings?
They're
That's
little
all
guardian
right.
angels. They're little angels.
Tell about I feel beautiful.
I feel I feel
Okay,
pretty.
I can't do
So
it. I can't
pretty.
do it.
This is just beautiful. Well, okay, y'all. So this week, like I said, let me apologize to y'all too. So if I force you to kind of be the host for a second,
That's fine. We already
that's
know what we got
because
ourselves
life is
into.
real. Okay.
It's fine.
I love you. Now, so this week though,
Love
we're
you
gonna
too.
we're gonna talk about dealing with emotions and stuff. We're gonna talk about just um how emotionally damaged we are and broken and how to get through it in positivity and light. Because that's the only way to get through it. What y'all think?
No, absolutely. There's a lot of it's a topic that doesn't get discussed more often, and we have to address it. Like as stroke survivor, as trauma survivors, we deal with emotions and we deal with them at extremes. Like it's like really high or really low. Like it's rare if you get them in between. So um, it's a good topic to talk about. Trina,
Yes. What you think, Trina?
It's a good topic to talk about. I mean, I'm still learning how to deal with my emotions.
and
I mean, by sitting here, I probably went to two or three emotions right now, and y'all don't even know it.
well, yesterday we talked yesterday. We had a pre-production meeting, and you were a little sad, and we were able to pick you up. You want to talk about that, or is that too much?
We can talk about it. Let me get my tissue. we
Oh
Get your
man,
tissue, girl. We got your back. We all the shoulders you need.
can talk about it. I mean, I don't really know what to talk about it because we go through emotions and we really don't know what we're going through.
no,
You know what?
We
You play
talking,
too much.
But
No,
that's
I'm just saying, like, you be like, I be crying. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm crying
You know
about.
what? You're right. You are absolutely
You
correct
know,
about that.
yeah, you have a point. Like we get emotional, and sometimes we don't know what we're getting emotional about, and that's something that needs to get discussed because I feel like as stroke survivors, like, and it happens to me. Like some days I wake up and I'm just like, I want to cry. I want to cry, and I don't know what I want to cry about, but I want to cry. You know, and it's not always like I said last week. It's not always gonna be rainbows and butterflies. It's not gonna be like ha ha ha, everything's good. Some days you're just sad, and it's okay to be sad. Like as long as we don't live in those emotions and you know get to that point where we're like, oh, like just sad every day.
Well,
That
I wouldn't even say that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I wouldn't
yeah,
even
you're
say
good.
that because it's okay to even be sad every day. It's a moment throughout the day. You know what I mean? It's a day. So in a day, there's 24 hours, and that's a long time to process and deal with just everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, some days we wake up and we just don't know why we sad, what's going on in our internal bodies. But I think it's important that we talk about like meditation. A lot of us don't know how to meditate to find out what's going on in our bodies that's triggering us to either be super sad, super angry, because the emotion ain't always sadness. Sometimes we just pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Triggered and something just does it. You know what I mean? So I think it's important that we learn how to meditate.
Yeah, you have a good point, and don't let that temporary emotion define your day, right? Like just because you had a bad hour doesn't mean you had a bad day. And we typically define, oh, we had a bad hour, so that like we had a bad day. Like no, you had a bad hour.
And
So
Trina, what you think about that before I get to talking, honey? Because I talk too much. How do you feel about emotions and
but
dealing with
I
them?
mean, like they say that the first year of the stroke is where it's hard to battle your emotions, and I call that like the first year's trial period because your brain is not thinking that I no longer can do this, I no longer can do that. So when you go to do something and you can't do it, then it's like just real emotional. I mean, I can honestly say that I go through a lot of emotion. I mean, my family was on here; they'll be like telling you, cause I give my sister and my niece, woo, baby. I bet sometimes they be like, I want to just choke her, you
I mean, no, I agree with you 100%. But the difference is, I don't think it just lasts the first year. I think the first year is when it's biggest. But I think, because I'm almost 9 years post, and I still wake up some days, and I'm like, I feel heavy, and just
know.
like overwhelmed by the pain, by the lack of being able to. And then I find myself the only way I'm able to get through that is I hop on that Strength in You page for real talk,
Mhm.
like getting on there with people and having a purpose that gives me energy and gives me life. So that's why I turn on that music and just be 100% myself, because so many of us are afraid to just be ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
absolutely, it's kind of why I do my motivation time, right? Like, and not every day. Like yesterday was a struggle to get up, and it was like, oh, I don't want to go work out. Like I just wanted to lay in bed. I was super comfortable, but like I know there's a lot of people that get like that get something, whatever it is, out of my motivation time, whether it's inspiration, motivation, a kick in the proverbial butt, to get up and do something. Um, I do it for them, because like yesterday, for instance, I didn't want to work out, and yesterday I was able to do something I haven't done before. Uh, do more than one rep of 100 pounds. Mind you, I was struggling to get that 100 up, but I got it done, and that goes to show you like that just when you think like your whole day's ruined, like you start off heavy, like you said, you're capable of great things. You don't know what you're capable of until you try.
Yeah.
That's powerful because that's the thing that a lot of people have to find, that try factor, because it's easy to just say, I can't, this is hard, and I don't want to. But none of us want to, like real talk. We don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, who you want to win? Are you going to let the stroke define you, or are you going to define it? And not even just stroke, trauma in general. We all have our sets of trauma, and some seen, some unseen. You know what I mean? So it's not just stroke. People who deal with like diabetes, people who deal with like being molested, or people who deal with obesity, people who deal with being the opposite colors. It's just it's all kind of discriminations that put trauma on the body. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about that one thing. So it's like if you got like stroke and then you have depression, that's two traumas right there. So this
Hmm.
is two things you got to figure out how to balance and how to deal
Mhm.
with light and positivity, because if you don't find the light and positivity, it consumes your spirit and you start to give off that energy. So do you have any I guess ideas for people? Give them one way that you deal with your trauma of life. And we can start with courage, since I guess me and Junior been kind of talking.
Yeah, yeah,
Courage,
Well,
how do you deal
I
with your
told you this is
trauma,
something. This is a topic that I have to listen in because I'm still trying to handle my emotions. So if I'm not talking, it's because just like everybody else, I'm new. I'm trying to handle it, and it's a lot to learn. So I'm learning now for y'all what to do. Cause sometimes,
I love
you
it.
know, Joy, you call me and I'll be like, I get that Riley code, but
You
you be
know what I
like,
love, Trina? You weren't scared to say that. That just took power
mhm,
and courage. Your name, honey, that just took courage to admit that you're still learning, because people think that it just comes because we grown and we supposed to know how to deal. But that is just so furthest from the truth.
yeah.
That is that's huge. I'm so proud of you. Yay.
hey,
That's a sign and a tribute to like you're a 4.5 year survivor, right, Gina?
I'm gonna be five.
It's about to be 5, and she's still
Yes, about
dealing
to
with
be five.
and she's still dealing with it. So like Joy said, there's not a timetable for victory. Like it's not just attained. You have to work every day. Breathing exercises, yoga, tai chi has helped me personally. Um, there's different avenues to be creative, right? Go paint if you like to paint, or if you like to go shoot photos, right? If you're into photography, go shoot photos. Like find a healthy way to get that emotion out, and I
Yeah,
guarantee, like you're able to kind of like take that energy, right? Because it consumes energy for you to be
yes.
down and in the dumps and chai tea this guy and so we go through the emotions, and instead of like lashing out at one of our loved ones and one of our caretakers, right, we can take that energy and put it somewhere else. And meditation has really helped me personally.
I'm gonna
Meditation
try
or Tai
to
Chi.
Hmm.
do
Okay, that's good. Because I have to learn how to meditate. My brain is so in the overload, and I'm sure many trauma survivors in general can just, understand what that's like, for one thought to go out and then here come another one, and here come, and it's like a cycle of non-stop thoughts and emotions. Because real talk, it's because of my emotions that I didn't work on my left side like I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because it emotionally traumatized me, and it made me feel like I couldn't.
Hmm.
And now I'm taking back control of that emotion by saying, no matter how long it take me, long as I keep trying, I can't lose. So I'm steady now. I'm now getting back into that mode of, yes, I can. So now y'all gonna see crazy arm videos of joy.
Hey, I want to see all of them, right? All of them, because usually, like when I see one of Joy's videos, it's like you see that big ass smile, like from either the Kool Aid girl, right? I love it. It's kind of inspiring for me too, like to see someone 9 years in who's taking back control of their life, and I've been blessed and gifted to 9 months in, kind of get where I am now, where I'm ahead of the game, and that's from talking to people like Joy, talking to people like Trina. Like I'm not gonna sit here act like I know everything, because I don't. And with that experience comes knowledge, and with that knowledge comes power, and with that power comes strength, courage, and wisdom. Yo,
Hey, you better say it,
And
boy.
guess what it comes? Responsibility. Just like what we're doing right now. We're responsible, y'all, to pass on the energy, the love, the positivity, the hope, the courage, the strength, the wit, like real talk, because we recognize that this is not an easy chore. Like this is a real task. And it takes some special individuals to figure out how to get through the come through. So now it's our time to show people you are not what happened to you. Your storm don't define who you are. Just make your garden prettier. So just allow it to
I
grow
like
and
that.
do what it do.
Yo, you had these little soliloquies. Did I say that right? I think I
Yeah.
said it right. That you just
Nice word, Julia. Good word.
I know, right?
Oh, come on, did he go with it?
You guys, like, especially Joy, like you have a way with words that's so pretty. Like you're like almost singing when you talk, and I love it. Like I love when you talk. I love your face. Trina, I love your face too. I love both of their faces.
We love you too, Junior.
I know you have to. You have to. You don't have a choice. You're stuck with me.
You know what?
No,
Well,
you
you
made my
know
heart
what?
so happy. I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm over
Well,
here like
you think
you guys
look,
are,
you think about it.
but like real talk. Like we have to like learn how to start uplifting each other and putting ourselves on the proverbial pedestal, right? Like we don't have I'm lucky to have the support system I have, but that's because I have really good people around me, and like
Right.
the negative people I kind of pushed away and kept them out of my circle. Your inner circle should be people who are genuinely care for you, who want to see you win. And if they don't want to see, it doesn't matter if it's family, right? It could be your own
Mhm.
brother. I'm not gonna put my business out there, but I had to push my brother to the side because he wasn't uplifting. He wasn't like for me all the way. You know what I mean? Like he
Right.
always had a little underlying comment that rubbed me the wrong way, and he's my brother. My blood brother, and
Yeah.
supposedly like we should be tight, but like I don't have time for that. And it's okay to push those kind of people aside while you work on yourself. And
Mhm.
down the road when I'm a little better mentally and I can handle that extra trauma in my life, I'll deal with it. But until then, I'm just gonna keep on.
Yeah. But and that part is absolutely true because I have a couple family members that's the same kind of way. And I'm really not gonna say who they are, but
I don't
I
care.
love you, Julia.
I
I
didn't say
love
his
you.
name.
I
I have
know, but I
multiple
do.
brothers, but you know who you are if you're watching this.
No, but I really do agree with you because the thing is, it's the energy that you accept, and certain things you just don't want in your inner circle. That's why I tell people to put that crown on and put your lantern on and let your light radiate on your body because you can't accept negativity or else you're gonna feed it and then you're gonna become it because then you're gonna give it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
Mhm.
absorb what you want to put out. So that's why I absorb myself with people like y'all because I love y'all. But my light is different anyway, so can't
Yeah,
nobody penetrate this light, boy. This that nah.
penetrate. Mm. No, it's tough. But like
Just
in all seriousness, Jeff Roberts said something I caught for like a second. He said a comment, try meditating even if it's for 10 seconds or 20 seconds. It don't have to be this whole I have to dedicate an hour to this thing. Like if you want to get there, meditation for 10 to 20 seconds at a time. Like learn how to like baby steps, right? Everything in our recovery is baby steps. And learn how to like That 10 will turn to 20. That 20 will turn to 30, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And so don't feel overwhelmed trying a new thing and feel like
Mhm.
you have to come out the gates like Derek Jeter and knock it out the park. Like, it's not like that. We're dealing with real life here. Our minds
Right.
play these weird tricks on us.
I mean, you might
And
literally have to do 1 minute at a time. 10 might even be too long for you. You might literally just have to empty it. But them tiny steps
seconds.
make a
We're talking about
monumental thing.
seconds. Seconds here. We're not talking about 10 minutes. Seconds. And if you telling me like as a fellow structure or as a fellow survivor of any kind of trauma, you'll have 10 seconds to close your eyes, do some deep breathing, and just click off everything, turn off the TV, put the cell phone down. You have that, and
Right.
the quicker we stop making excuses for our behavior, right, and our choices,
Mhm.
quicker like you'll start seeing changes in your whole life.
Right.
Like I'm addicted to this thing, and sometimes I have to put it down and just act like it's not there.
Right.
So I could do what I gotta do. Because if not, I'll be on my phone all day.
I feel you 100%. And
Yeah.
what do you do? Okay, so what are some steps for you every day to help you find that positivity? Because positivity don't just come.
No,
It
I
really doesn't.
well for me, and I'm only speaking for myself here. Um, I'm a firm believer in rituals, right? Like make a routine is something I learned. I was reading a podcast, not a podcast, a blog, and I was reading this blog about making things a ritual instead of a routine. A routine, like you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it. A ritual is the same as a routine, but like you're more mindful of what you're doing. So start making a routine, and then eventually that'll turn into a ritual. But like,
Hmm.
get up in the morning, do your morning thing. I get up, I take my medicine. Uh, I have my motivation time. First thing I do, I take care of that, get that out of the way, so I don't have to worry about it. And then I go brush my teeth, have my coffee, sit in front of my first thing, fish tank for a little bit, and just meditate, get my mind right for the day, go work out. I do a lot of these things that have a strong foundation in my morning, so that way I can kind of like coast through the rest of the day. You know what I mean? And I do affirmations. Affirmations work for me. I know that it'll work for everybody. But try affirmations. There's a really good app out there called I Am, that I was introduced to, that you can set up at like 5 o'clock in the morning for me. The phone just starts, I am. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, like that helps with my positivity. So, like,
I love
creating a strong foundation equals a strong day and a strong mind. So, try doing those things.
True. And I first of all, I'm gonna say I love self affirmations. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am courageous. Like, I, it's more to those, y'all. It's so many. Whatever you feel like you are, speak life into it and mean the words that you say. It is so important to mean what you say. You have no idea. But wait, I had a brain fart, stroke brain. Okay.
I know.
But no, seriously. One of the things that I was thinking was shoot. Ooh.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
know, girl. You know this is life. I ain't gonna
It's
worry about it.
okay.
It's gonna come back to me anyway. But I know we was talking about just being positive through the storm, basically. And at the
Mhm.
end of the day, besides affirmations and speaking life into yourself, um, yeah, it just keep happening.
It's
You
all right.
gotta do.
Right there, right at the tip of the tongue, right? I hate
It
when that
really is, but that's that aphasia when you know what you want to say, but it won't come out. And I'm
happens.
not ashamed to admit that's what. Oh, I got it, Nasty. I told you to come back. You just gotta accept it and embrace it for what it is that day. And sometimes a good cry, y'all listen. The power of a good cry can change your life. I'm trying to tell you because ain't nothing wrong with crying. See, people think that's a sign of weakness, but it's the complete opposite because it takes strength to cry. It takes strength
Mhm.
for you to admit that you hurt right now. Because as an adult, we don't want to hurt. We want to be just strong all the time. But sometimes we weak, okay? Sometimes the body is like, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, and I can't do this right now. But then you had a good cry, and then you start speaking them affirmations. And then it's like, you know what? I got this. And you just remind yourself, because I'll be in my house screaming, strengthen you, girl. You are strengthening you. You got this. Like I
But
be trying.
as a man, I could attest to that because we were raised like boys don't cry, right? We deal with our emotions and we just keep on keeping on, and that's BS. That's the old way of thinking. Um, I have an anger shelf, right? Like in my chest, I constantly are putting my emotions down, pushing them down, pushing them down. And what happens is eventually it's gonna blow and it's gonna pop. And then that's when you have those lash outs where you, I don't know where, you start screaming at the people you care about the most
Hmm.
because you can't deal, right? I
Yeah.
had recently, I had news about my AVM in my brain, and I cried. I cried. I cried. I cried. My mom hugged me and forget about it. It was like I was a little kid, and after I got that out, she understood. She's like, "Get it out. Just get it out." And after that, I was able to kind of deal and process and think clearly
Mhm.
about what my next move was.
Yeah.
um, I had to like monitor my blood pressure. I've been like breaking news, right? My blood pressure is really good lately because I've been keeping on top of it, eating healthy. Last night I wanted ice cream. I was like, I should eat ice cream, and I'm put it back. I wanted it, but self control, right? And
Right.
with those ingredients, like let a good cry out. As a dude, it's okay to cry, and I'm telling you, it's okay to cry.
Right. And the
Come
power of journaling, y'all. The power of journaling. Write those emotions out. Don't hold them in. That's where strokes and stuff come from to begin with. Stress is the biggest cause of strokes. And we don't want to have another one. And most of us um, are like that close to one, you know what I'm saying? And the only way we can prevent that is to take necessary steps to push back, you know what I'm saying? To fight back for your life. And yeah, that journaling, take your power back, put that on paper.
I wrote there's something I'll give a little advice, something I do as well. Every day I write down in my journal. I don't always write down like what I'm feeling that day.
Hmm.
Um, but what I do every single day is what I'm grateful for that day,
I love
and
that.
change it every single day. Don't Sometimes it's okay to cheat and be like, I'm grateful for Doritos or whatever, but be grateful for something. You know what I mean? Whether it's at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. Preferably at the end of the day, it's a good way to reflect on what you did that day and what you're truly grateful for. Go through those experiences throughout the day, and you're able to kind of, oh, today I'm grateful for my mom, or my dad, or X, Y, Z. You go to, and the more you do it, the more in your head you get, and you're able to like, today I'm grateful for getting up. Today I'm grateful for being able to breathe air into my body. They get more deeper and deeper the more you do it. Like when you first start, it's like you're kind of just like filling out whatever, and there goes Joy, you and her mic. So
Oh, you put her on blast like she did me last time.
yeah,
Don't
we
be
did
judging me. Y'all know what it is. I done already told
right. Oh, Joy was sitting there with emotional damage. She's like, you're not gonna put me on blast.
I
I
couldn't
told
even
you I was gonna do it.
I couldn't even say back what I wanted to say because people was
What do you want to say?
all kinds of stuff because I was about to cuss you out, but not really.
It's okay.
The
I say hello to
mother
the bad guy, right? Told you I was gonna do it at some point during the episode. I gave you a
No, you know what? Back to what we was talking.
pay back. back on track. Back on track.
Back on track. You know what I found though, seriously? If you don't if you don't find a way to step out of your comfort zone and deal with your emotions, they take power over you. And one of the ways I think that you should learn to do that is by popping out. Go outside. Go have some fun. Go to a park. Go and just enjoy the scenery. Go watch some birds. Go sing some songs. Go listen to some live music. We got plenty of ideas for you. Give some ideas, y'all, for people to go outside and have a great time and
Go
enjoy what it is.
outside. There's something to be said about being in nature and kind of experiencing the world, right? Experiencing nature for what it is. Like be around some trees, you know, regular trees, not you know,
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what?
life.
Yeah,
About
come
life.
back, come back,
He ain't
bro.
talking about Jesus
Shame on
trees.
you. With that afro, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Uh, so
One
enjoy,
time,
watch your favorite show, right? Like do things that are gonna take you out of your emotional, right, state of mind, and whether that's playing a video game that you really enjoy. Um, for me, I love collecting cards, right? Like baseball cards, basketball cards. Sometimes I just pull them out and I just go through them, and it's a good way for me to kind of just like not think about what I had to do that day. Because sometimes like our day to day becomes like overwhelming, like with all the things that we have to do. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. Set some time out to make yourself happy. I have to be happy. Once you're able to change that mindset, you're able to really like live in the moment, like not be more present when you're doing things, um, and not just kind of go through the day like a zombie and just kind of go through the I'm yeah I had to get X, Y, and Z done. Um, yeah, you have to get X, Y, and Z done, but make X, Y, and Z um bold come out and stick out. You know, like when we use bold letters. I know what the hell I'm talking about, but
I stay to myself. That's one of the things. Like when I'm going through emotional, people think I have an attitude or I'm just being difficult because I push away. Like I go in my room and I want to be to myself. You walk in my room, I'm gonna look at you like, why are you in here? Because I feel like you stepping on my territory. I feel like give me my space, give me my moment. Let me get myself together.
and that's all well and dandy, but you also have to like step by that, right? Like step by that comfort zone where you're like, I need this me time, and let other people in because you never know what. Like I was talking to my best friend the other day, and um, he had just got a hospital. He's on dialysis, and he's a diabetic. He has his own trauma that he's been dealing with for years, ever since we were like little kids, like 16, 17. So, um, if I didn't reach out, if I was in myself and just I want to stay to myself, we
Mhm.
made plans that day to go to a wrestling show. I love wrestling. And we used to go all the time when we were younger, and that's something that we're gonna start doing. Um, you know, not every time my body is gonna be like, okay, let's go do it, you know, but
Right.
um if I'm present enough and I'm aware of what's going on and I'm feeling good that day, I'm gonna go because those moments mean more now, especially after stroke. Um, there's like I don't take advantage. I don't take things for granted anymore. You know, like
Right.
when I'm able to walk around with my niece and nephew around the mall, that's a good day for me. You know, because
Yeah.
that's like before I didn't think about things that way. Oh, I just walk around the mall with my niece and nephew was like a chore. Oh, I don't want to, whatever. Now after the stroke. those moments mean so much to me because you're not promised tomorrow. So man, take advantage, full advantage of what you got going on today. And if you're in your bed all day, you're letting the world pass you by. Don't be that person that's okay with like, I'm gonna miss out on this. Yeah, some things you have to miss out on. Some activities are, our brain and our body is not
Right.
gonna relate to them. But those days when you're feeling good, take advantage of it. Be present in those days, because you make some memories that they're gonna last a lifetime, and you don't know what your effect is on other people.
You know what, Julia? You said something though that made me think about it, and it ain't. You just gotta. Sometimes you gotta be more than just present in those moments. Because some days when you don't feel like it, you don't know that you'll feel better when you actually get outside. Because if you
Hmm.
don't know why you down and you don't feel it, don't let it keep you. Like I think you should still at least try to go out, because most times as soon as you step out that door, that air hits you, the sun hits you, and it reminds you of the beauty of life, and you're like, damn, I can do this, and then your energy just kind of hits you. So I think it's important that you just don't miss out on stuff because you're like, I don't feel like it today, I don't feel like it today. It's going to always be days we don't feel like it because the body is hurting, and a lot of times it's hurting because it's saying I want to do stuff, but we just too busy sitting there over consuming ourselves with what's going on in the head. And that's the
Hmm.
part you got to let go of and take back your power, because that's
That
where you.
overthinking.
But how you
Well,
feeling this courage? Because I'm loving
I,
to hear this
I
voice
was
pop
just gonna
out.
say, yeah. What have you learned from this experience so far?
I have learned to take back my life and be who I am. No, but really, I have learned that I had a lash out the other day and it kind of hurt me because I hurt someone that's close to me. Well, she kind of got used to it, and that's my niece. She's a niece. My niece is a nanny baby,
What's
and
her
so when I
name?
lash out, nanny. That's me. I am nanny. Everybody, I'm
Oh,
nanny.
oh, okay, okay. I'm I'm I'm
Yeah,
I'm, I'm following. I'm
mhm.
following.
She's a nanny baby. She's a nanny baby, and I let her there, and and she be like, nanny. She'll she'll go away for 2 days, then she'll text me and be like, well, nanny, you went off on me for no reason. I was just trying, and it be hurting me because I be like, oh, I didn't hurt my baby, nanny baby, but I still love you, And I'm trying to change better within myself because, like you said, if we set in it, we miss good days, good points. And I had one last week that was so bad that I couldn't even be around my great nephew. And I was sitting out trying to figure out why was I this that emotional when they bring me so much joy.
Yeah.
When they come in, they don't see me as I done had a stroke. They see me as named. They know something is wrong. They know that I can't do something. And they very protected of me, but they don't see me as no difference.
Hmm.
So
Man,
did
being
you figure
around.
out what it was that triggered you, and did you apologize to them afterwards?
I always apologize to my niece, whether I text her. At first, I text her, I ease on me.
Nephews too, boo.
I have to make sure she okay.
She said,
And then, and then,
Right.
yes, I apologize, and I guess it's just a learning experience. I didn't got a whole lot better than my first year, cause my first year, man, I would cry every day. I remember one time I cried. I called my sister, and I was just crying. And it was on voicemail. She come running to the house. She said, "Sissy, you okay? Is you hurt?" I said, "You know." She said, "Well, what's wrong?" I said, "I can't put my wig on."
why you think I got locked up? Because I
Yo,
talked about that, had that first year so bad. I said, you know what? The devil.
you know what though? Like, I keep hearing about year one, right? And I still haven't hit a year, right? But like, I feel like I've because I got so involved in like support groups and talking to other stroke survivors, and not only stroke survivors, other survivors of trauma, that I was able to kind of learn from them how to like, okay, don't isolate yourself, right? Because that's gonna lead into a depression. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like. I'm grateful and I'm blessed that I was able to like, I'm hard at it. Sometimes I have to go through it myself to like learn, and that's okay. But like I'm able to also like look at you know Tom and Harry, for instance. They're going through this because they did X, Y, and Z. Well, don't do X, Y, and Z. Like simple. Don't follow in their footpaths, so you don't end up going through emotional. Like I deal with emotions too on a day-to-day basis. Well, I'm able to realize that it's only a temporary thing. I was told one time, emotions are like toddlers. If you give them attention, right, when they're like on their BS, right, they're being fussy, they're gonna continue to remain fussy. What do you do with a toddler when they're being fussy? Ignore them and go, yo, do your own thing, right? And eventually they calm down and they're fine. It's the same
You,
thing with
I
emotion.
didn't do that. Not even with
I
my
just see
toddlers.
me now.
But no, that's a good theory though, because for a lot of toddlers, that actually works like nobody's business. But I've always been a communicator. That's my personality. So I've always talked through so now I talk myself through my emotions. Like what's going on with me, Joy? What's going? And I literally talk and I answer back. So I guess I'm crazy,
You
but
just now realize you're crazy.
that's okay though. Chicago raised me. Chicago raised me. Listen though, real talk. Some people, like you said, you ignore those emotions because when you feed into them, they just getting it hyphy and hyphy and hyphy. You just elevating it. But sometimes you can talk yourself through it, and you just got to find what works for you. Everything is about trial and error. It's not gonna come overnight. We don't expect you to fix this just because you heard this show or any of that. It's going to take day to day, minute to minute situations and experiences to teach you lessons to get through these things. And you got to be real enough with yourself to call a thing a thing and admit when you're wrong and own your shit. Okay, let's just call
Hmm.
it what it is. And accountability, a lot of people don't possess that. So when it comes to your emotions, you are accountable for your emotions and how you process and deal. And if you know you have issues, nothing is wrong with counseling, whether you black, white, green, yellow, purple, don't nobody care. Counseling is a thing, it's real life. We all can benefit from it. This is a form of counseling because I get to talk to my friends and get information and learn. And then I can get feedback from you guys when you send in comments and stuff like that. We get to watch and learn and develop new things. So we appreciate all of that. This is beautiful, y'all. We
Hmm.
get to teach people how to get through these emotions with love.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That didn't look how you wanted it to look. Like in your head, you were like, "Oh, I'm pumping it up." It looked wrong.
Oh, it looked wrong.
It looked wrong. Joy, stop that.
See,
Stop that. Right?
Look, that was my strength in you. My strength in you.
Yeah. There's a time and a place, and this ain't the place. You know what I'm saying?
Where there's strength in you is always a place. We
Mm.
he said,
Yo, yesterday, quick side note, right? Um, Trina was in her emotions, and like me and Strength realized like she was down, so we were joking around, and we got her out of that. Like by the end of that conversation, I don't want to speak for you, Courage, but I feel like by the end of the conversation, you're in a better mood and a better place, right?
yeah, I would. I would.
And I told her, and I was like, "Yo, if you act up again, I'm gonna have to like put you over my knee and give you a good spanking." When when I tell you this girl arched her back and stuck it out, I was like,
find out.
no, sit down. No, not only on Straight Talk, we talk about realness, right? But we also expose other
Right.
people. Come and sit down.
Facts. But while he talking and he exposing courage, let me tell you how he
You
was
know,
eating this
he always give me know.
Jamaican beef patty, y'all. Let me tell you, he was eating this Jamaican beef patty, right? And I guess the stuff was oozing out or something. Oh, it's a Jamaican bean patty. And he was all like, and then Courage all like, let me see, do it again. And he like,
I had to get him. I had to get him.
I licked your finger. I was like,
you see what I got to deal with? But this is
oh,
what I'm telling y'all right here. See, we are most of, well, I'm in pain right now, right? My emotions are a little wacky right now at this moment. But in light of all of it, I know that I'm here. I got breath in my body. I got another opportunity. I got good energy around me. Can't nothing stop me as long as I don't give up. So you know what? I'm happy. And I refuse to let my emotions consume me and take over my life because I'm in this bitch. Wait,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's
I've
one
been
way of
crying
putting
on.
it for sure. But
Wait,
like,
see, I get serious when he talk, 'cause I don't know what he gonna bring out.
you never know. I'm like a box of chocolates, right? You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
you gonna let your forehead pop through?
Uh huh.
but
You
I
got.
don't do that good when I get that fake chocolate. You know that
I love chocolate.
nasty chocolate.
You love. That has so many layers. It's like an onion.
You know, at the time I couldn't say nothing because the people was walking back. And all
So
I
your
could do,
eyes
I
said more
turned
than
around like,
anything. That can be interpreted in so many ways. Courage, nasty
be on
chocolate.
one.
But the nasty chocolate. You know that nasty chocolate with that orange and strawberry filling, and you know that Valentine's Day candy don't nobody want.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like them. It's almost like that trying to eat that candy corn from Halloween. The worst shit ever in the planet.
Anyway, getting
I
back on.
like candy corn.
No, but real talk. Getting back to it, y'all, because we got a good. I don't know, maybe a good 10 minutes or so. My time, I can't count. I'm a stroke survivor. No, let me stop playing because I can count real good. But
I was gonna
anywho,
say, don't do that to yourself.
I know, right? Because
Uh-huh.
I'm lying. I know I'm lying because I'm actually very talented
Don't
and
you
very
say
smart.
that because it's a lot of people that think that we can't do certain things
Yo,
that's normal. And don't say that. Don't say you can't count. Girl, you better
But
not
wait,
say
wait,
that.
what? Now wait, let's change that word though, y'all, because everybody got their own normal. You know what I'm saying? People be killing me with this normal, and see, we ain't got enough time. I guess that'll be next week.
That's another
We talk
show.
about
That's another
normal and abilities versus disabilities because I personally don't even like that word because don't put a
normal.
dis in front of what I'm able to do. Like I don't even like disabled because I'm not dis nothing. Don't diss nothing about joy because I am very capable and able of. So we're gonna talk about y'all remind me because stroke brain, but because I be now that part is true. I forget stuff. So matter of fact, let me write this down. What I just say: abilities versus disabilities, and come on,
Yeah.
help us out.
Normal versus abnormal.
Oh yeah, what's a normal? Yeah,
Yeah, what's a normal?
okay.
what it is and what it ain't. You know.
It
Able,
is what it is.
and I just feel like it's another label that tries to put people in these boxes, and I'm just like, at what point are we just going to accept that we people on any show in the world, no matter what we're talking about, we still people talking about what's important to us. So I don't feel like people should be labeling people, and I feel like it started with all these different sexual situations where everybody started putting themselves in boxes. No, I'm lying. It started with black and white when it was separated by color and all this, and it's like it's no separation. So that's what we're gonna talk about next week. I think that'll be a dope show. So y'all get y'all stuff ready, y'all get y'all questions ready, cause soon, probably next month, after y'all really get to know who strength, courage, and wisdom is, we're gonna start allowing calls to come in on the come through, so
Mm-hmm.
y'all can ask questions live, and we can get all the information for all the people, because it's all about you. But
Like
also,
you said, interject. Good word. I want to
good word.
I'm really excited about this calling thing because I think as stroke survivors, there's not like a show like this, right? Or any kind of trauma survivors. I need to stop saying stroke survivors, trauma survivors. There's not a show like this where you can ask a real question, to other survivors of trauma. Like I went bowling last week, and I was with brain cancer survivors, survivors of cancer, survivors of traumatic brain injury, stroke survivors. We were all having a grand old time. There was no, like you said, there was no the TBIs hang out with the TBIs, the stroke survivors hang out with the stroke survivors. It was none of that. We were all a community together, and I'm really excited about that topic for next week. I think there's some truth to, like, it's kind of that high school thing. Jocks hang out with the jocks and cheaters, like, none of that. You know,
Mm.
we're all people.
We're all people. So I hope, matter of fact, my boo Courage over here real quiet. I don't know if she peeped what I said about getting these live calls in. So girl, I hope you ready for these questions that's about to come through live.
You know
Cause
what? You know what, Joy? You surprise me every time because I'm so grateful that when you first met me, you seen something in me that I hadn't seen in myself. And you was like, I'm gonna bring all that out of you. So I'm just on the ride. Whatever you got, I'm like, you know what? It's here. I'm gonna deal with it. You
But
know.
all jokes aside, like, I don't know you before we started kind of doing this show, but I've seen such a exponential growth just in that short time I've met you and I've known you. I know we've been I'm serious. Like, you were following along with the stroke with my motivation times on the other group, and that eventually led to where we're at now. And I remember you reached out and you were like, "Oh, I'm interested in this book club," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I kind of took it at whatever. And now to where we're hosting this show together and talk more frequently. Um, you have definitely come out of your shell. And I don't know what it is about Joy. She has a good sense of character. And like you said, like, you did she saw something in you that you didn't see yourself. But she knew, like, hey, if I take my time with her, like, pressure makes diamonds. You know what I'm saying? You were a little cold. You were like, I don't want to talk to anybody. And you're like coming out. You're like a butterfly. You're coming out. You're cocoon, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
And I'm finna fly. I'm finna fly.
yes, honey, yes, let them
We
wings take
we
you
can
where
tell.
you need to go. I am so excited for this show. I'm excited for our viewers. I'm excited for the real life questions and stuff, the real life interactions, because you see so many shows and they're all rehearsed and everything is edited and all this stuff. And I
Mhm.
want you to get so much of the real from us that you're gonna take our bloopers, every fart, every pee on herself, every slob, whatever happens, because it just is what it is, and that's a part of life. And we should stop being embarrassed for just living our life, whatever that life looks like, because it ain't gonna come easy for a lot of us. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna come with beauty. So accept it for what it is. But okay, we got about, let me pay attention because I talk a lot. We got about
All right,
7 minutes.
we're good. We're good.
We're good,
Um,
but
I wanna touch on that. Like, shows like this are usually really edited, like you said, and you don't see, like, the mishaps or the bloopers. That's what I love about this show. Like, you get an hour with us. It's kind of the same way we have a pre-production call or a meeting, and we just chop it up. It's the same, you know. We there's parts where we're just joking, and then there's parts where we're really serious and we're talking about things, and
Mhm.
there's parts where like you said, like I drew a little, I catch it, and but that's like the imperfections that make this show so perfect in my eyes. Like those mishaps, those moments of vulnerability, you get to see all of it, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's one of the things that I said I wanted to not only be a part of, I wanted to
No,
bring light to it and just, I don't know, let our star shine because I don't mean we're any less of a star because our star looks different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we about to shine bright and show the world that it's okay to be a trauma survivor and get through your trauma because it's your trauma and it strengthened you. That's why the strength lives in you, boo.
just real quick, I have to, before we end the show, that intro was so,
It's about to be the outro while you talking about it
why.
because I am new at this and I'm my own producer and she one hand strong and we're gonna get these videos the right way and y'all gonna grow with me. That's the beauty of it.
Yo,
You're gonna be like, I remember when that show first started and it looked like shit. And now we are this way. So it's all good. And we are well open in critiques and feedback and all that good stuff because that's the only way anybody can improve. You can't improve if we don't know no better. So we welcome that. Please send us feedback. Hop in either one of our inboxes. If you want to find us
Yes.
on Facebook, I'm
slide in
Jordan.
my DMs. Slide in my DMs, how they always open.
Hop in Junior's DM. He ready because Mr. Hernandez, he be pumping. But
Don't have my mind. I've
but
been doing.
I'm gonna also welcome you to join us for support groups on Friday mornings at not what time is it? It's 9:30 my time,
It's
mountain time.
better.
But I'm gonna post about it, y'all, because you know how it is. The struggle is real, but I'm gonna get better at all of this stuff because again, we're growing together, and that's the beauty of watching somebody grow. And you want to see them shine. You take all the little points and you make it great. So that's what we're gonna do, y'all. And this show is, like I said, is gonna be changed to next week on Mondays because all the hood stuff with with the work, yeah, we're gonna hit them with the switch up. So, but I, huh?
Okay, I got to remember because I have stuff just all over. I've been
We'll let you
days,
know, Terry.
days.
We'll let you know. Don't worry about it.
We got you, but don't even tripping. You on a team. We got you.
Thank
But
you.
these are for our beautiful sisters
Imagine
and
us
brothers that's
cooking the show
watching
and not
us.
telling her about it. She's just coming into the meeting like on Wednesday. It's like, where's everybody at? Like we already had the show.
Right. But no, we're
You
going to
said
keep
I've been
it
waiting
together.
on Wednesday.
This is for our beautiful brothers and sisters, our kings and queens, to be reminded that number one, as things change, to embrace those changes and go along with them. Do not let your emotions take over you and consume you. But yeah, I ain't gonna say too much about the show yet because I'm gonna tell you about next week. But before I say that, I'm gonna let courage and wisdom give you their last words of
Ooh,
motivation and how to get through or deal with your emotions in a positive light. So, Miss Courage, what would you leave them with?
I would say that first of all, don't let it take away the good things in your life. Don't. What I'm saying about that is enjoy yourself, embrace it, love the journey that you are on, find the beauty in it, the courage in it, and then you'll find yourself.
good words.
Love that.
The quote of the day. I gotta come with the quote now.
I know you coming with one. Come on.
Real
Come with it.
difficulties can be overcome. It is only the imaginaries that seem unconquerable. Read that one again. You know what I'm
Say that one again.
saying? Real difficulties can be overcome, right? It's only the imaginary ones that seem impossible. Like you unconquerable.
Mm.
I love that. And I'm gonna leave you with come through with the strength in you. Now for real, for real. Never give in to giving up on you. Remember that you are worth the storm. Anything worth having will be hard. And when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Keep shining your light bright. And Julian, here come my outro. Ha ha!
Mm.
Coming through with the strength in you. Hey, boo. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do? What it do? Coming through with the strength in you. Ain't you? Say, coming through with the strength in you. You got it, boo. Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Come through. Strengthen you. Push through. Hey, strengthen you coming through.